Hello and welcome back to the Great Patriotic War. Well, last time we got through most of the middle of the map. We kind of started from the middle of this turn. Today we're going to work on the northern and southwestern fronts. The southern front's pretty much static. I don't really anticipate doing too much. Maybe we'll move the one guy up to a defensive position, but not a whole lot to be done there. So it's pretty much just a waiting game. But on the northern front, we've got some decisions to make here. So I think the best bet might be to kind of just abandon this line and fall back to our main line here. But what I want to try to do a little bit, and I don't know if this is feasible or not, is at least occupy these two hexes. So our line would look, or maybe even just this, basically I'm thinking of moving back just a hex or two, just to slightly shorten the line, but without completely abandoning it. Can I fit onto this? I can. All right. And I think a lot of it is going to be determined by the range of this unit. Okay, so if we stack up here, oh, that's going to cost us a little combat prep. This is a motorized division anyways. Yikes. What about you? So he's got full combat prep, but it's only 6,000 men. The other option is we just hold the line here. It's not that much shorter, but it is slightly more defensible. But then that does leave this very end line here exposed. All right, well, let's move this division, the motorized division, into one of these better supplied hexes because they're a little on the low side for supply, and I want them to be available for movement purposes. And we'll put this bad boy, right next to his buddy here. Put him here. And then what we'll do is we'll stack an extra unit on this. Really need 2 units, but I think they'll just get smashed right off that. That's okay. And then I would like to stack an extra unit somewhere along the line here. Possibly here. So at least that's putting up a 5 now. Is this thing actually ready? Oh, it's unready. Okay. That kind of changes the game then. We need to pull him off the line altogether. Maybe we'll stick him up here in the forest hex here. Wait, at least he's close. I guess we will fall back an extra hex. Alright, it's not exactly what I wanted, but at least it's a shorter line, which is what I wanted. I need to turn these 4 levels off too. And let's turn the logistics off too, just so we can see the numbers. Alright, so now on this line we have a very, very thin line, and in many spots. All right, so this will reinforce our weakest position in range of it, which is not too much. Ooh, not too much at all. Would this still be in range? Yes. Okay. But this, oh, I thought this went to the 8th Army. I guess not. Was there a reason for that, or just for fun? All right. Let's turn the logistics back on for a second here. So I'm thinking about maybe putting a depot at this location. Maybe. This thing is still unready. Because like if we give him to the 32nd Army and put a depot here, this is actually a really good spot for a depot. Because then I can have these guys reinforce the front line. Which is exactly what I think I'm going to do here. Just stick one each on that. And then I would put the depot. So that's not a railhead. This is, I think. Yes, this has a rail yard on it. So let's put the depot there and see what that does to our command range. It's still okay. So we'll create the depot here. Now with that, I can give this guy over to him, which will start refitting him. And honestly, I don't know if this guy's even worth refitting here, but kind of want to just stick him in Leningrad now. Just give him over the coastal army. Stick him on a refit. How's this commander? It's actually not bad. Really not bad at all. When does this unit activate? Not soon enough. I'll tell you right now. One more turn. Can't wait. He will be nice to have because he seems like he's actually not bad. All right, do I have anything else that I need to reassign? I think you can go to the 32nd Army. So now he's nice and full. He's not the best general in the world, but he'll get the job done, I think. I am more than a little bit nervous about this hex and this hex. They could be easily shattered. But I do want to keep building up stuff there, so it's a bit of a conundrum if I'm perfectly honest. Let's get this guy up to very high, and let's... yeah. What could I throw in there? So we have a couple cavalry divisions that we can move up. And I think I will. That guy must have rolled really bad. Okay, so this could actually make it all the way up to here. I think I'll do that. These are all going to different armies and divisions and crap. Unfortunately, I already gave you to the 32nd Army. What's the Luga Army at? I wonder if I could give all 3 of these over to Luga. What's he at? 14? I think I can. And he's right nearby, so they'll get some pretty good supply, I think. Where's the 14th Tank Division? Is that what this is? No, it's the 52nd. Where's the 14th? Stacked with something? Possibly? Oh, here's the 14th. Okay, let's give you the 32nd Army then, while you're refitting. Alright. I mean, it ain't pretty, but it'll probably get the job done, more or less. Alright. I would like to go back into that hex, but I think both of these are unready. Oh, this is ready. So I could advance into that hex and try to hold it. It's a little risky, but I could also bring this cavalry division around. Pretty low combat prep, though. Let's do it anyways. So at least now we're throwing up a full 1. It's not the best, but I think it's all we can do right here. Let's try to give him some artillery. Maybe that'll help. Not that artillery ever seems to do a whole lot. Gives us a few points here and there, but get some old ML20s out there. Alright, now the Northwestern Front. What do we have for his anti-tank? A small amount of anti-tank. But he actually does not have any artillery directly to him, and he has units directly to him. So that's a bit of an issue. So let's give him some core level artillery at least. Just to make sure he has it. Does he have anti-air? He does have some city anti-air, but nothing directly to him. It's going to be an interesting setup here. Well, the Northwestern Front and the Leningrad fronts are as good as I can get them for now. They're going to have to be reinforced to some extent with the mass reinforcements we're going to bring in. But they should be able to hold for another turn. I don't think this line is going to get completely broken, but I wouldn't be surprised if they break through to our second line. But even that, I think that's strong enough to hold, at least for a turn. 2 turns, maybe not so much, but 1 turn, I think it can hold. We do have a couple particularly strong hexes too. All right. Now for something completely different. We're looking at the Southwestern Front, which is an absolute disaster right now. Disaster in the making, I should say. Not currently a total disaster. But we do need to start retreating. And one of the first units I want to retreat is this 199th Rifle Division. And the reason I want to start moving them out first is because they're at 100 combat prep. But I don't want to necessarily use up all their combat prep just moving. So I want to get them to this rail line. And I can't really put them on any of these hexes because they're all full. I could put him here. And that would definitely help our defense. So, I mean, I could do that. It'll help our defense for a turn at least. But in the long run, that's not going to make a huge difference. And then I guess our forces on the river itself, I'd like to kind of start swinging them over and around. And just not leave this open necessarily, but just start swinging some troops over. I realize that they're going to be completely exhausted by the time they get there, but just wondering where the line could be. Because what we don't want is to just get completely encircled with no defense at all. All right. I'm thinking of using these guys kind of as scouts and then moving this guy the rest of the way over. Okay, so that's unoccupied. And then you should be able to take up kind of right there. All right. Did any of these get brought back to life? No. Most unfortunate. Seems like they're very much swinging around. Oh shit, didn't mean to move them. I just meant to move the cav core. Just so I can stick this on here and give him over to the 37th Army so he can continue to refit in peace. So he doesn't get blasted to pieces. None of these are even close to ready. Get him off the map. Just gonna try to get anything that's probably not gonna recover off the map. While leaving some stuff on the map. So he's actually the closest to being ready. Alright, this rifle division is actually not too bad. 34 TOE. So maybe I'll try to refit them first. Because this mechanized division has 5 armored vehicles to its name. So they are a long way from ready. And it just ain't going to happen anytime soon. That's fine. But we'll start moving these guys over. Take up somewhat defensive positions. It ain't the best, but what can you do? Alright, do we have some sort of commander that we can bring down? 40th Army. You're not the worst. Definitely not the best, but we will give you to the Southern Front. Ooh, he's exactly 6 away. Well, we'll just give you the 37th Army. That's fine. Welcome to the 40th Army, mate. Damn, I would really like to just rail him right in there. But I don't think I can. Could rail him right in there. It's kind of funny. This rail line is actually pathetic. This single rail in such a critical location. What were the Soviets thinking? At least he won't build up any ouchies from riding the train. Where's this going? The stuff going? There's an army right there. Bloody moron. 6th Airborne Brigade. Oh my god, he's gonna make it back. He's gonna make it back to the lads. Can he choo-choo down there? He can. Wow, what a survival story, honestly. Made it back to the lads. What an adventure. The 6th Airborne Brigade. 5 losses, but a lot of information gathered. Alright, so we gotta pull the planes out of here now, I think. Yeah. Wasn't thinking of that before. Oops. That's a little concerning. I can't actually pull out the planes. Alright, you might have to stay here another turn, sadly. Alright, what else can I pull out of the city's defense? Mechanized division. I mean, we are going to have to shore up our northern front too, but I'll start by mostly moving to the right. Don't really need to defend this hex. We just need to defend our built up ones. We'll give him over to the cavalry corps. We'll also make sure that this cavalry corps has a little bit of artillery with it. Give this over to the 40th Army. Keep it on refit for now. Trying to get some units ready for fighting tanks. Alright. So now what we'll do is we'll move the 6th Army, what's left of it, into defense over here. I really want to get into that hex. Yes, wonderful. Right. I want you to get into this hex. Along with you. So we can at least throw up a little bit of defense there. Kind of forcing them that way. As for this, we're going to reassign you to the cavalry corps. And then these two guys will both go to the 12th Army. We need to remove something from the 12th Army, though. What can we get rid of? Don't bloody know. think we could maybe safely move this over to something like the 38th Army, because it's probably not going to be in combat. Just as long as it's in command range, it should be fine. March him over here. And then the tanks will be the reserve. Be the reserve for the 12th Army, I think. I'm very tempted to make this a depot. I know that's probably ridiculous, but I mean, this is a... Oh, that's not a railhead. Never mind. This is 100% damaged. Kind of need that functional. All right. Well. If I move him here, no. Here. Here? Damn, this is fiddly. Alright. We're going to have to do some reassignment here. So, 6th Army. You're no longer the 6th Army. Welcome to the... Who's better, the 5th Army or the 4th Army? If I can find the bloody commanders. Oh, there's a broken rifle corps there. Let's get you off the line. Ooh, there's a sneaky little guy over here. Let's defend against that. Don't like that. Oh, there's no way he's in command range. Shoot. Alright, we gotta give him the 40th Army then. 50th Army, sorry. Although he is in command range 26, but 26 is a little... 4th Army, yeah. Oh, that's the blue men. Shoot. Oh well. I really need to give one more army over to the southern front. Or something to the Bryansk front, which I think this guy will... We'll put you back to the Bryansk front. Makes sense. Ooh, they have a very similar color, unfortunately. So we could give the 4th Army to the Bryansk front. Good old Golikov. Give him over to the 50th Army. All right, that's starting to shape up. And I think that's kind of all I can do here. And there's a big chance that they push very, very far this turn. I just don't have anything to bring in here. And I'm not going to next turn either, because I'm reinforcing Kaliningrad front. So it'll have to be 2 turns from now. And by then they could be halfway to Kursk. That's what I'm worried about. So I'm hoping that I can kind of refit enough mechanized troops to slow them down, to head them off. All right. Well, with that, I am out of AP. I've done my reinforcements. And I've pretty much done the line to the best of my abilities. So I'm going to turn the turn, and then we'll pick up from there next time. So I always do a manual save before turning the turn, just in case. You know, I don't have the best computers in the world, so it could very well crash on me, and I would prefer not to have to do that all over again. So I think we've done basically all we can. But there's always more you feel like you can do. It's just so hard to know what's the right thing. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. But I mean, we've done what we can. So all right, let's turn the turn. Hold on, let's get the camera in a position where it's hopefully not going to get... Yeah, I want it to get snapped when we do move that stuff. So, all right, here we go. Let's see what happens. 10 turns in, we're officially in double digits now, and it's only taken 2 months. To be fair, I am playing 2 games at once, so half the speed I could be doing it. But I have enjoyed coming back to the single-player version, too, with kind of a fresh look from a strategic point. But I'm starting to see that you get into the teens for turns, and it's going to get pretty dicey. Like the beginning it's kind of on rails. You're not really in control. At least that's how it feels when you're playing it. Feels like anything you do, you're getting encircled. You're just getting screwed over. But I think as we get into the teens, we're going to see a lot more hard decisions that we have to make. So it's a good thing that we're learning lessons now so that we kind of know how to play by the time we get to the important turns. That's what I hope, anyways. But there's definitely a lot left to learn. That's for sure. For one thing, I've hesitated to kind of memorize the stat bonuses from terrain types and stuff like that. I prefer to think of it in general terms. I don't really want to memorize the numbers. It feels very gamey to me. That said, if you're trying to min-max things, that's definitely what you want to do. You want to memorize the numbers for all the hexes. You want to try to maximize the bonuses you can get. But in general, I know that if I'm sitting behind a river in a densely forested area, there's not going to be a lot the panzers can do to touch me. But if I'm sitting out in the open with just infantry, I'm kind of screwed. Are all those stars in the map partisans, I wonder? I wonder if that's what that is. I've never noticed that before. I have to look into that. I've never seen those stars show up in the map. These little stars that are all over the place. I mean, to me, maybe it's partisans? I don't know. I really don't know. Flying our missions. They're flying hardly any missions. All right. Ooh, those numbers went down fast. Jesus. Yikes. Man, I wish I knew how to shoot down those damn recon planes. They're getting perfect recon on my entire Northwestern front. Driving me nuts. Maybe I just need to put more planes up or something, but... Why did you retreat, you absolute ninnies? It's just some Nazis. You've seen them before. Oh my god, just demolishing us. Jeez. Thank God I have a second line. Yeah, get stuffed. Alright. A little bit of retreat, not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. Routing, not so good. Definitely not. We're making them fight for it, though. I love it. We are not conceding this ground easily. And these guys are in there to buy time. That's what they're there for. Same with that guy. He was just a time buyer. So they captured Veliki Luki without a fight as we pulled out from it. Now, the interesting thing will be, do they advance directly into our lines or not? Looks like not so far. I expected these guys all to get smashed back. That's perfectly fine. I guess they're not going to touch Smolensk until they can encircle it. Alright. They're starting to hit the sides of our line over here in Smolensk. To be fair, I had considered pulling them back, but alright, that was a good defense. Yeah. Oops. Hey, at least I made him fight. Instead of just walking up to our front line. That was dumb though. I shouldn't have driven around there. But hey, at least I was having fun with that. I didn't really think that it would be successful. I just wanted to drive some tanks around, you know. Sometimes you just get the itch. You just want to see some tanks rolling. Look how much less intel they have in the Southwestern Front, because our planes are actually doing their damn jobs, and they're not just directly overflying us with recon planes, I guess. It's pretty ballsy of them to fly over all those airfields, and I don't understand how it's not getting punished. I'm flying air superiority in the hexes that they're trying to scout. I don't understand how they're scouting it and not getting shot down by the dozens. My planes are just so bad. Like, you don't see the stupid slow-ass recon planes just flying all over the place? What are you guys doing? And yet, when my guys go on patrol, like in the multiplayer game, they're just out there patrolling, la-di-da, la-di-da. The BF-109 see it from 5,000 miles off, just teleport to you and shoot you all down. It's ridiculous. Oh, no, not my airborne brigade. No, not the boys. Are they going to get killed? My precious airborne. I'll miss you. They're going to get killed. I knew it. I knew it. I knew I should have railed them out. Screw the Air Force. Oh, my poor airborne companies. My comrades. Wish I had some American airborne divisions, huh? That would actually be useful. Actually, I just wish I had the American Air Force. Maybe not the 1941 American Air Force. I would take the 1944 American Air Force. That would be nice to have. Wouldn't say no to a few armored divisions either. Tremendous losses there. Oh my god. They hit me with so many units. Poor Kherson. Okay, are they gonna attack Odessa? Or is that just attrition? I guess that's just gonna be attrition. All right. Well, I got to say, this is probably our most successful defensive turn. All of the defensive moves that we made were extremely successful. The areas that we reinforced, just in general, our lines were really, really fighting well this turn. So I'm very impressed with the, staunchness of our comrades in arms. There's nothing I can complain about there. I think we were very reasonable to pull a lot of troops off the line in Kiev. It would have just caused needless death, but the lads that we left there definitely were ready to fight. Now, the big issue is that we have to throw some stuff in front of that Panzer army that's just rapidly advancing through the Ukraine. And we don't have a lot in that area. And we didn't bring anything into that area. So it's going to be a little tricky. But I'm overall pretty happy with that turn. I mean, yeah, 53,000 casualties, 429 tank losses, 783 guns, and 65 planes. But they were effective casualties in that they definitely held the enemy movement to a minimum. They definitely reduced the distance that the enemy was moving, causing some good attritional effects and stuff like that. And we did cause 25,000 casualties ourselves, so it's just slightly over 2-to-1 losses. obviously their material losses are much less significant than us. But 109 tanks is nothing to sneeze at. 159 guns. I'm very, very happy with that turn. The results of it, and just overall our strategy was pretty good, I think. Now our air losses, again, not too bad, really. Not too bad at all. We lost some fighter bombers, but those are easily replaced. We lost 37 airplanes in combat. They lost 14, so I really don't consider that a terrible turn. It's slightly more than 2-1, and those losses are frankly sustainable in the long run. If we can hold it down to just 2-1 losses in the course of the war, we'll be absolutely demolishing the Nazis by 1942. By the end of 42, we'll have enough troops if we can hold on. Now, that's obviously ignoring the fact that the Nazis are going to be bringing more men in, and we're definitely going to see that number start to creep up. But our number is also going to creep up, so it'll be interesting to see where we end up. Now, on the map, you can see that we shot way up this turn, and that's the 300,000 men that we brought in. Now we're still actually outnumbered on the map by Nazis. They have 4.45 million. And they have pretty much held that steady. But they're not going up at this point. They are starting to go down. Whereas we're bringing in more forces from the reserves. It's just a matter of figuring out where to place them. In terms of guns, we've actually almost reached parity with them because of some of their losses and some of their transfers. And in terms of armored fighting vehicles, we've also almost reached parity with them because we've lost all of our bloody tanks. But they were garbage to begin with. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. We're going to build some nice T-34Ms. Once we finish moving the factories around, they'll be beautiful. They'll be so good. Now, the interesting thing is that everyone thinks of T-34 as this massively produced piece of equipment, which it was. Don't get me wrong, but they weren't produced in such vast numbers when you compare it to the numbers of pre-war tanks. The Soviets will never get back to the pre-war levels of tanks. We just won't. We lost too many too quickly. So I just say a sad song for them on the world's smallest violin that we'll never get back to that 11,000 tank number at any one time. I'm not saying that we don't produce more than 11,000 tanks, because we do, but we never field that many at one time ever again. So it was overall pretty successful turn. Now this turn we're definitely going to have to do some stuff to protect ourselves in the Smolensk region, because as you can see, they're reaching for a pocket. They're reaching around. But I kind of think these 300,000 troops might have just a little bit something to say about that. So we'll see. And that's where we'll leave it for today. We'll look at this beautiful force of 300,000 men that we brought in. 300,000 men and well over 2,700 guns. So I'm excited for this turn. Well, with that, I will see you on the next one.